The following Best of Central Florida program is sponsored in part by these fine sponsors.
Welcome to the Best of Central Florida, joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Michaela Nichols. How are you today?
I'm joined by my beautiful co-host, too.
Thank you very much. That was very nice of you. I call this the expensive show for me because your head starts spinning. We're talking about home improvement. I can already feel your head spinning.
I love aesthetically pleasing spaces.
You wonder why we're in front of the set right now. It's because we're going to talk about all things. You own a house. What can you do to improve that house while also helping with the resale value? It's just ahead. Best of Central Florida. Continue.
The Best of Central Florida is sponsored in part by these fine sponsors.
We are talking to the queen of home improvement, Monica Pleshek from Monica Pleshek Interiors. Monica, thank you for allowing us into this beautiful
You're not getting rid of us, by the
kitchen.
way.
No, literally, we're going to stay with you.
Drinks
You're welcome to
coming
stay.
out.
Yeah.
Do some barbecue.
Barbecuing, the whole thing. Tell me what you're doing over at Monica Pleshek Interiors.
Basically, I design for any client's needs. It could be a very small project or a very large project. Within reason, as far as commercial-wise, only because I am a one-man band, so to speak. So not only am I the designer, but I'm also the person that does all of the running the business behind the scenes.
You really do it all.
Yes.
You truly do.
Yeah.
And speaking of doing it all, this summer kitchen is absolutely breathtaking. What was your vision here?
Well, basically, I start with what the client's needs are. So I interview the client on the scope of the project and what is needed to satisfy their expectations. But I also take a lot of time on getting to know the client. To me, that is extremely important because basically a client's coming to me because they need help. They don't know what to do and they don't know how to design their project. And so once I get to understand their lifestyle, their needs, their preferences, then it kind of gives me a place to start, so to speak.
Let's talk about the outdoor kitchen for a minute, because we do live in Florida, obviously.
Yes.
Having an outdoor kitchen, I think, for me, it's twofold. Number one, I think the resale value of your home is impacted because people love spending time outdoors. But even if you're not selling your house, it really changes your family's lives in so many ways. And yeah, this is not considered interior square footage, but my goodness, how does this change someone's life?
Oh, tremendously. Every time I design, I'm always in the back of my mind thinking of, in the future, how could this space still be used and still be functional and still be aesthetically pleasing? And so I try to stay away from trends. I try to stay away from just that one time, the client needs, this design and I'm going to use it this way. So if I can design it for the future, or possibly somebody else who wants to move into the space and change it up, like for example, if this is a shed, then maybe they want to turn it into like a yoga studio or an art gallery. Right. They could easily do so with subtle changes that I've made within the shed, adding different types of electricity availability to make it under air, or even if they wanted to use it to rent out a space and have tenants come and go, you can actually, a lot of appliances require a 220 amps. So by having that availability, they can tap into that and move that electricity anywhere really they want into the space. And so that's usually where I like to start, is thinking, overall future. Yeah. Somebody else possibly being here, or maybe somebody else inheriting the home. So it really just you have to go beyond the box, so to speak, on when you go to start the design.
We're talking about the details. I mean, every little thing, especially in the summer kitchen, between this and the counters, how important are details to you? Because some people just skip right over it. They think big picture, not you.
Oh, no. First of all, function is the utmost importance. Before I get to the fun part of picking out materials and appliances.
You got to get there, right?
Yes, and I look forward to it. And I work really hard in making sure that when I get to that point, I'm ready to go full first. So basically, function is key. It's got to flow. For example, if you have a bar here and you want this to be a major pathway, you don't want it to be so tight through here that people are like having to shimmy on through. You want this to be flexible. And so you have to really factor those things in when you're space planning and designing. You have to see where all the major pathways are, where, how's the kitchen going to function, where are people going to be if they're, utilizing the space, how many people are going to be in the space. And so all of that factors in on how you have to design the functionality of it.
How hands-on are you? Is this going to be like I hire you and then you're gone? Or are you going to be with me every step of the way?
Oh, I like to be involved with the client most of the time. In fact, if they will have me. I'm willing to work with any client on however they like to work with me. I'm very flexible. I cater to them. My utmost important focus is doing my job and making them happy. So, anytime I get to, get a client, and I even have this happen to me where I've got clients that text and call me up and say, hey, it's been 3 years since you designed my project, and I sit here and I still, to this day, I just love it. And we, if it's a couple, they're like, we just sit here and we just like love every aspect of it as if you designed this yesterday. And so that's what I love to hear, because to me, at the end of the day, that's why I do what I do. I love to make the clients so happy, and hearing something like that tells me I did my job and I did it right. So.
You're doing something right, that's for sure.
And your clients aren't just in Florida. Like when we first connected, I was so impressed. I mean, you work with clients all over the country. I mean, you could literally meet with them on like a Zoom and see the scope of the house. It's crazy.
Yes. I have a client that I met here in Melbourne Beach. I did her townhouse renovation, and she owns a historical home up in Buffalo, New York. And so her and we worked so well together, and we really connected, and she was so happy with what I did with her townhouse, and she had asked me if I would be willing to help her with her house up in Buffalo, New York. And she didn't have the budget to fly me back and forth, and I certainly didn't either, so I was like, well, we're going to make this work. And so I was able to come up with the design remotely, and we worked back and forth, and she FaceTimed me, she sent me a ton of pictures of the space, and just based off of that, I was able to sketch out a layout floor plan of her kitchen. And I just put out little call outs for dimensions and scanned it into the computer, sent it to her. She was able to print it out, and she measured everything out for me and sent it back to me. And then I was able to plug it into the computer, and now I have a working floor plan 3D model drawing that I can work with. And we were able to start from there, and that's just getting started. We also I sourced out some places there in Buffalo, New York, and that we had here in Florida as well. And so I was able to pick out materials here in Florida, and then I had contacted the people there in Buffalo and said, hey, do you have the same material? And they're like, yeah, we do. And so I was able to source materials and appliances and everything out just by going back and forth with the people there in Buffalo, New York. And I was able to actually see the materials here in Florida, and then have the salesperson there pull those same materials out, present it to my client, and then that's how she was able to see my vision. Right. And that's kind of like how we ran from that point. And she was like, oh, I understand the design now. And that's how we really did it. We just did a lot of back and forth, and
going above
we had
and beyond.
we had to get creative, because to be honest, I've never done anything like that before. And so, you know, my ultimate goal is to make my client happy and do the best that I at most can. So we were able to figure it out, and between us both, we accomplished it.
Knocked it out.
Turned out to be a gorgeous place. I can't wait to see it. So.
Well, Monica, thank you. You're doing incredible work. If you're looking to improve your home, or you just want to give Monica a call to see if she can make your home even more enjoyable, give her a call today. We'll be right back as Best of Central Florida continues.
The Best of Central Florida is sponsored in part by these fine sponsors.
Welcome to our house. I mean, you spend more time here than I do, but it is hurricane season. You know our windows are terrible.
Yeah.
When hurricanes roll through, we actually go to your parents' house because we feel safer there, because you don't feel the wind vibration. Go feel the windows right now. Hit the windows like that.
Okay.
This is not a window.
No,
that
and
it should
I mean,
ever
there's
be relied
condensation
upon
from just our sprinkler.
but during a storm like that, you
Water's
wonder why you
coming
feel the
through.
vibrations. Even when a summer storm rolls through, we feel the vibrations here. That's why Dan Brigman is here today, Renewal by Anderson. Dan, as a man, I want to feel like I have a safe, protected place for my family. And I don't here. I'm not ready for hurricane season because of the windows that we have. What can I do as a family guy to make sure my family's safe during the storm season?
Well, first thing you have to do is you got to do what, you've got to inspect your windows. You've got to know and learn about what you have. And you know, Justin, what you have is not a hurricane window. That's not going to stop anything from coming in this house. If a shingle or a terracotta tile were to blow off in your next door neighbor's house in a windstorm and hit that, and you're sitting at this table, it is not a good day. All right, it is coming through. So what we have to do is we have to get coastal windows in this house, and we have to get them in as soon as we can.
I totally agree. The financing that you have too is fantastic. You make it super easy for me to afford windows in my house.
Yes, we do. Look, we know that no home improvement project is cheap, right? I mean, most of us just don't carry, you know, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 around in our pocket, right? And so what you have to do is you have to make it affordable for for our homeowners, and that's just what we do through our easy pay plans. We have multiple different ways that we do business. We have 12 months no interest, 18 months, 24 months. We even have 180-month low interest plans. Some of them as low as 5.9. You can't even buy a house.
You can't. Not even close. Do you feel? Thank you, Dan, for coming. By the way, do you feel better?
I do.
Are you going to stop yelling at me?
I mean, Dan's here, so Dan's going to save the day. With, our
you.
VA is always going to save
A
the day.
Renewal by Anderson, QR code on the screen right now. Get your family prepared for hurricane season and storm season. Even if the hurricane doesn't come through, the storm season gets scary here in Florida as well. Do it today. When it comes to real estate, especially in Florida, the outdoor areas are so important. I'm here at DelaTurf. Ryan Church joins me. When it comes to the outdoor living area, you guys do everything, obviously.
Yes.
What are people looking for, though, to really make their outdoor area so livable?
Well, most of the time when they're buying a house, a lot of times they just don't give them enough room out back.
Yep.
You know, they'll give this little pad. So we can come in and do, you know, a large paver pad. We could do large turf areas, putting greens. We could do kitchens on top of the pavers. We can do pergolas to cover you, you know, from the sun, all that good stuff.
How does the process work from the time I call you to the time you're installing?
So you call us up, we would send a salesman out to meet with you on site. They can get all of your details at that point as far as what you're looking to do, or even give you ideas if they need to. Then from there, they can quote you, and then the process starts from there, depending on what all you're looking to get done.
I love artificial turf. A lot of people don't even know it's really an option. And when should I consider artificial turf for my house?
Anytime, really. I mean, if you're struggling with maintaining grass, you're struggling with growing grass, you don't want to mow grass, those are great times. You have dogs, you know, all those things are great items for artificial turf.
And it looks beautiful too. I even see people put the artificial grass like on the side walls and things. It looks so cool.
Yep, we've done a little bit of everything. We can even do artificial ivy is another thing we do that we don't talk a lot about. So we can do walls with artificial ivy and everything.
Putting greens, anything for your outdoor area, there's one place to call. That is DelaTurf.
Here we are in Maitland at Stokes Counseling and Consulting. Very happy to be joined by our good friends, Dr. Jeremiah Stokes, Jessica Richardson. Welcome to the show, guys, first of all. I think that we're doing full service mental health counseling and consulting here. No matter who you are, I think you can benefit from coming to see the team here. How did you set up such a full service practice?
You know, I was really dedicated to finding the most comprehensive, talented clinicians that I could. And so over the course of 2 to 3 years, I really spent a lot of time focusing on acquiring practitioners who specialize in certain issues and certain modalities, as well as focusing on bringing in clinicians who could see the entire family system, people who could focus on kids, people who could focus on couples, and then people who could focus on families.
Yeah, and you have your own specialties as well.
I do, yes. I am an accelerated resolution therapist, meaning that I treat trauma and different types of post-traumatic stress using eye movements and re-scripting of those memories.
Amazing.
I think mental health is so huge. I mean, someone may be watching at home, you're like, should I go to therapy? When do I know it's time to go to therapy and come see you?
I think if you're just feeling any level of distress that you can't cope with individually, that's the whole point of therapy, is that you're engaging in with a trained professional in a relationship, and that relationship is designed to facilitate, to help you as the patient gain more introspection and then create coping skills to manage whatever's challenging you in your life.
Absolutely. Keep up the great work, guys. And no matter who you are, I assure you can benefit from coming to see the team here in Maitland at Stokes Counseling and Consulting.
The Best of Central Florida is sponsored in part by these fine sponsors.
The home improvement show rolls on today, and we do another show called You Have Real Estate. You won't even come on that show because you say you know nothing about real estate, but my goodness, since you bought a house 2 years ago, you act like you know everything about home improvement. Everything with you is, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's always something to upgrade the house.
That's so positive, you're right.
But we know someone, a family, a very close family to us, who does a lot of great things for all of Central Florida, and it's really Skylights. I want you to say hello.
Well, first and foremost, y'all, literally this episode would not be possible without you guys, because you've been like part of our family. You've been on the show for so long. We love supporting you, watching you grow. Family-owned business. Tell me about, why'd you start Central Florida Skylights?
Well, as time went on, it was time to move on from the roofing phase to the skylight phase. And once I asked Jaron if he could come help me, which made a big blessing because he has done so much, he's getting really good at it. And I asked Torin, would he go out and do the sales for us and let me and Jaron just do the installs? And then, of course, I asked my wife, can you make the phone calls? Can you answer the phone, do the appointments?
Happy life.
I gotta have that, yeah. And it's worked. It has really took off.
Now, talk to me about Skylights a little bit, because I think that your roofing background really helps, because people are thinking, well, I don't have a skylight now. You're literally going to cut a hole in my roof. I'm going to have leaks. This is going to be a problem. I think your roofing background really helps that.
It does. My 30 years roofing experience, that really helps, because we take the roof from 2 layers that everyone has to 5 layers with our waterproofing system underneath and on top the flashing. So once it's finished, it's all sealed, so there'll be no leaks. And Torin assures them at the appointment, and then I go over it again, you're not going to have any leaks. Our almost 500 customers have no leaks.
Mm-hmm. That's incredible. It can be a little scary when you think about like cutting a hole. Like, how does that work?
It does. But when we do the locate in the attic, then we're cutting between the rafters, we're cutting the plywood, not disturbing anything structural, and then seal it down watertight, and then drop the tube down, and it brings in the natural light. And
I love natural light. Me personally, I hate artificial lights. When I can just be in my house and not have to, flip on the switch.
Yeah.
That's why we live in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to just be able to enjoy the space you're in.
Yeah, and that's 100%. That's where a lot of my sales comes in, because even when I'm writing the invoice, it's turn the lights on. Gee willikers, this would be great if you just had
weird yellow.
just
weird
natural sunlight that you didn't have to turn on your lights just for us to do this simple thing. Yeah.
And talk about resale value a little bit too, because when people are looking to buy a house, the first thing they notice when they walk in is the natural light. I think that it's really not that expensive to install the skylights, but also really helps the resale value.
100%. No, it's not expensive at all. And it helps the resale, because when you walk in a home, it's bright. It's not dark, dungy. So a customer that's wanting to buy a house, oh, I love this house, it's so light, it's so lit up, there's no lights on. And that puts you in a good mood, it's a good feeling, and the sale goes really well, especially when Torrin does the sale the same thing. Once he shows them the samples and shows them pictures, they're like, I want my kitchen like, I want my bathroom like, and voila. And then we, no one wanted heat. You get all the natural light with no heat.
That's the biggest thing.
I'm not trying to talk negative, but the solar business has gotten a bad rap here in the last couple of years in Florida. And what's happening is a lot of these solar companies came in, installed solar panels, and now they've disappeared. What is the customer service like for your customers once they have the skylights installed?
I've had some customers call and said the solar fan, I don't think it's running. I'll come out, even if it's past my 3-year warranty that I give, I still come out because you know what? They bought 4 or 5 skylights, they bought 2 fans. Why not? If they're happy, they're going to tell someone else. So even if it's past my warranty, I go out and check it. Most of the time, it's the thermostat needs to be changed because it just wears out. I pop it off, put a new one on. Problem resolved, and then everything's fine. But we back up our work. I give them a 3-year warranty, but I go beyond that sometimes because you know what? They're like family to us. They really are. We treat them like family. Torrin does when he first comes in there. Like I said, when we come to the house, me and Jaron come, you've done a great job raising Torrin. I said, well, I had help with my wife because I didn't do it by myself. Because they said how professional and how kind and polite and treated them like they were family.
Yeah, no, you sure do. I mean, all your reviews speak for themselves. I mean, people just love working with you guys. And the family atmosphere is just such an incredible thing because it's a family business helping other families. Tell me what you guys are holding here.
So this is our corner sample of our skylight, our tubular skylight. It has 4 layers of glass with the dead air space. It's argon gas filled, so it's very quiet, and this is what keeps the heat out. It also has wood inside. And what's the great thing about ours has an integrated hinge, so what that means is when it's raining, water can't penetrate this unit, and we're the only ones with this Skyflex unit that looks like a traditional skylight.
Wow.
And this over here is our reflective mirror that we put on the inside of the unit. So that way, regardless of where the sun is, it captures that light onto the mirror, travels down the tube, gets to our ceiling ring, where we also put the mirror on the inside, and therefore it really amps up that light and gives you way more light than what you could have.
All the light.
With also the benefit of the double layer ceiling ring here, where again, reduces all the heat. We don't want to bring any heat into your home. We don't fade your furniture, fade your countertops, anything of that kind of nature. We're just bringing in nice natural light while still giving you the best benefit.
And everything is marine grade made, so it's not plastic that is going to wear out or fall down. And everything's powder coated from the factory, so you don't get any rusting. It's true aluminum throughout.
Excellent job, as always. Natural light, without any leaking, of course. A family-owned business. They've become our family as well. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I always get nervous when I do these shows with you because it's more ideas. Your head starts spinning. I can see it.
I know. It's
Good
exciting.
job today. Thank you to all of our amazing guests. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more Best of Central Florida.
The preceding Best of Central Florida program was sponsored in part by these fine sponsors.